This photo was taken a few years ago. It was downtown Chicago and a cold winter's night. I was actually on a date and I saw this and I captured it. This is the story. We have this cool pattern of tree lamppost. We have the lights, the soft glow of the lights going down. And also we have a pattern of the snow, the sidewalk, snow, sidewalk going all the way down. And then we have a couple here or a few people here, which is good. And we have this beautiful sky, evening sky with the silhouette of the trees. There's a lot of good elements in this streetscape. There's a lot that distract too. So in general, if you have a boring foreground like this, like look how it doesn't add anything. Everybody knows what a sidewalk looks like. And so we don't have to really worry about getting rid of that. These high contrast areas here, the signage, it's not needed in the photo and it distracts. Our eye is going to go there and we're going to try and figure out what the sign is and what it's referring to. And because it's detail and it's a recognizable pattern, our brain is going to try and understand it. And we're going to dive into that. So that's definitely going to take away from the main story. And we're not losing anything if we frame it and get rid of that. We have some garbage cans, which are pretty boring. So on the left-hand side, none of this is valuable. It doesn't add to the story. And I'd say we have a little too much sky. Remember, we don't want to show them everything. We want to show the viewer just what our story is. And although this whole thing is pretty cool, it's too much. And I would probably chop it about halfway because we don't need to. We already have the story of the silhouette of the branches against the sky. And this is a much nicer sky here than it is up here. So we don't need anything on top. And the whole idea is less is more. We're not in English class anymore writing a 7-page paper of utter nonsensical gibberish just to satisfy the requirements of some poor misguided English teacher. Did you notice my disdain for that in my tone of my voice? If not, stick around and you will. All right, let's get started. First of all, I'm an expert at taking crooked pictures. Unfortunately, that is not a valuable skill in today's world, but let's straighten it out and make sure before you do anything, straighten out your photos. On the bottom, we're going to get rid of all that sidewalk. On the right-hand side, we're going to get rid of that signage and those neon lights. Actually, on the left-hand side, we're going to get rid of all that. I'm going to drop that first lamppost, and I'm going to frame it against this tree. Anytime there's a tree trunk I use, and there's an opportunity to have that as the border of an image, I take it. Now I'm going to pull down from the top. There's enough silhouette and branches right about there. And then the bottom, I'm going to do that so that we start off the bottom left corner all in snow. All I did is remove all the stuff that isn't my story. And so the idea is next time, as you learn this stuff, as you learn these techniques and you learn to look at your photos and you take another picture and you ask yourself, what is the story? You could start off with something like this, which will be much more higher resolution instead of having to frame it and crop it. This is this, and here's the original. You can see when I took this, I was intending to capture these lights and this image, but I got a lot of the extra information, which is good because it gave me something to talk about in this lesson. The whole point is that you can take what you've learned, and if you see a lot of foreground in your photos that has no value, that's a repetitive pattern that adds nothing to it, remove it. And you see what happens. If you have high contrast areas, signs and letters that are on the border of your photo, and it doesn't add value, doesn't tell you a story, remove it, just crop it out. You can see how this is a much better photo. It's much easier for the viewer to understand what's going on and get the sense of this feeling of this cold winter day, and you have this beautiful night, even though it's cold. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of this. If not, you can have your money back. And of course, like and subscribe because that's what keeps the doors open. Actually, that's not true. The doors are open anyway. But if you could like and subscribe, it helps my ego, which is supremely important. And I will see you in the next video.